leaves are turning brown. Red and yellow, soon they'll be falling down. Now, I'm not ready, not just yet. I'm not ready for autumn. Autumn comes too soon. Autumn comes too soon.
I think my mood board is complete. This really was a lovely way to start my Saturday. It's been about a week and a half now that I'm back to work teaching at a high school, which is my job. So for me, it is the end of August, and when school starts back up, then to me, summer's kind of, we're done for the year. And I know it isn't actually done by the calendar, right? Like, isn't fall like September 20 something? But mentally, I am not in summer mode anymore, sadly. Since my work life is really intense, I don't have a lot of energy to devote to things that just really bring me joy like this. So I'm thinking of starting early and then sprinkling this kind of like fall manifestation throughout the rest of the few weeks before we actually get to fall itself. So I don't know, I don't want to be like on the capitalist calendar where I celebrate things in accordance to how the stores look and what they're trying to like hawking their wares at us. It's more because I know I won't have a lot of time to do this properly and right if I actually wait until fall picks up. This mood board really does make me happy. Just looking at it, like I have a photo here of a scene from Halloween Town and the grandmother's in there, and I have stuff at the pumpkin patch, and there's lots of little treats and books and just like cozy little moments. And I did want to add like a little, like a keyword or a phrase or something that's kind of like my mantra for the season. And I know a lot of us like to connect back to this idea of coziness, but at its core, coziness is creating a sense of safety, and it'll look totally different for every person. So that's why I kind of went with this little mantra for the season. That's going to be my thing I go back to when I kind of lose my way a little bit, when people start to post tons and tons of Halloween things and I'm experiencing digital overwhelm. I'll be able to come back to this quote and be like, okay, am I doing this? Like, this is my measurement for spooky success this season. What does Halloween mean to me? And the first things that came up were things that had to do with my family, the magic my mom created for us growing up. It is, very aesthetically driven, of course. And I think of pumpkins, and I think of food, and I think of a home that has such a fun atmosphere that, my books and my movies and video games I love to play that are very Halloween and horror related, like they just come out of the screen, they come out of the page, and they take over my home. That is really fun, and that's what Halloween means to me, just that creative opportunity to be silly and playful. It is a time to remind myself that I am safe and loved. It's not this time to get in my head and comparing myself to other people online and to spend tons of money and be in the stores the entire time. Like, that's not where the magic lies. So I think this really helped center me at the start of preparing for fall and getting me to just get to the core, the root of what Halloween joy is, so I don't get lost in the sauce, I could just feel myself radiating joy and just my smile. I just feel so happy when I look at this mood board. I've made it the desktop wallpaper on my laptop here, so I'm gonna get ready for the day. I have my little cute Joanna Parker vampire mug. He's adorable. I am not a big Joanna Parker person. This is probably the only piece of hers that I just went head over heels in love with. So yeah, he brought me joy this morning, and it's just little things like this that I'm getting really hyped to enjoy and experience. So I'm gonna get ready for the day and just have fun tackling this little to-do list, getting myself in a spooky season mindset, despite the fact that it's gonna be 90 degrees outside today in California. Whew, it's gonna be a hot one. I have arrived at my local Barnes & Noble. Unfortunately, I don't have too many used bookstores in the neighborhood to use instead that offer what I'm really looking for today, which is some seasonal magazines. I would love to get the Halloween season Home and Garden magazine, and I'm thinking maybe possibly the Martha Stewart one if I could find it. The one I would want the most is going to be the Home and Garden one, so fingers crossed I find that one. I did not know they had a Chucky game. Did you? I knew they had a Halloween one, which I've never played. Let me know if you love it, but I've never seen this one before, and this cover is really creepy. It's books like this that make me wish I knew how to cross stitch. This just looks incredible. Okay, I'm thinking about these two. I'm in between these. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be getting. This one, I'm not too sure yet. Okay, oh my God, these look really delicious. Okay, I always love this quote so much. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with just this one. This one seems like it has everything and even like little editorials. So, like, I love snooping in at people's homes. Not me getting distracted by cozy mysteries set during Halloween, my goodness. I'm so happy I was able to find that magazine. What I didn't realize is that right next door to this Barnes & Noble, there's actually a Marshall's, so I can't not step inside there during the fall months. I'm curious to see what they have because I have not been inside a Marshall's, TJ Maxx, like any home goods store at all in several weeks because I've been very preoccupied with getting back into like the swing of things with work. I'm looking specifically for stuff to kind of spruce up the home that's more fall and less Halloween, more like pumpkins and orange. Specifically looking for some pillows and some bathroom stuff as well. This is really cute, but not gonna lie, I'm kind of like overstimulated. There's just like way too much stuff, and I have a feeling I'm not gonna like buy anything because I'm just incredibly overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I am so thirsty. Oh, okay, it feels good to be rehydrated. My last errand of the day was getting my nails done, and I'm generally happy about them. I just had a last minute color switch up when originally I wanted an orangey brown kind of color and they didn't have it. So I kind of tried to find an orange color that wasn't screaming summer and was giving more fall. But I think it like met that criteria because I did pick up these very like fall-esque pillows to throw on my couch over here, and they like perfectly match. So I'm hoping this is giving more orange and less red because I'm not like a big red person in general in terms of colors that I like to see, let alone like have on my persons. Like I don't think red is my color. I do know I need to like kind of change up the throw blankets I have here because I don't think the green one is gonna really mesh well with this one. Ugh, now that I'm looking at them, maybe they're a little too red. I don't know, I'll ask Thomas when he comes home. Besides these throw pillows, the only other thing I purchased from Marshall's was this little Lego pumpkin bucket. I thought it would be perfect, so perfect, to put all of the little Halloween goodies I love giving my nephew every year at the start of October. It's kind of like, I guess it's like a boo bucket, but I like to do it at the start of October. So then he has the whole month to play with everything, to eat everything. I primarily like to give him activities to do in here. And as he gets older, I want to give him like books, less candy, but like candy as you well know, is something I love and is so synonymous with the holidays for me. So yeah, there has to be like a little treat. I'm a cool auntie after all. And the crown jewel of my errands today, for sure, is this magazine. I don't know how magazines bring me so much joy because I haven't really been reading magazines lately. Like by lately, I mean the last decade. However, growing up, I was a huge magazine girly. I mean, I loved books. So I think magazines are like a natural media to like get into when you already are a book nerd. And we all know that like print media is really struggling. And I mean, these are just getting more and more expensive. And so this really did feel like a special treat. Yeah, I mean, like looking at the price here, it's like $13 in the US and then it's like $16 in Canada. So these aren't cheap, but oh, am I excited. So excited to like make a moment of this. And this is what I'm talking about when I say like, I want to enjoy fall on my own time and in my own ways. When I was driving home from getting my nails done, I was thinking about like, what is it that I'm wanting from this magazine? Because like I have this giddiness when I got it and I flipped through it and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like so many exciting, lovely things to discover in here. And so I'm just thinking about like, why do I feel that way? Why is there so much excitement around this versus like, you know, not feeling the same way when I go on Pinterest or Instagram, which has like probably 10 million times more ideas on those websites. Like the reels alone on Instagram overwhelm me to no end because I know there's no end to what I can find and gather on there. And I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's just my brain or this is like what humans just feel, but like I feel so overwhelmed that my brain shuts down by how much there is to discover on Instagram and Pinterest. So I rarely find myself in those spaces. What's comforting for me is like there's literally a last page. Like it's 96 pages and it ends. And I think that's very gratifying and satisfying for my brain. And in our day and age, it might feel limiting for this to be only so many pages, but it's actually very refreshing. Today's Sunday, so like I can't really do too much else today. So I think doing something super relaxing and like literally no brain effort at all will be so nice. Just me, my Halloween magazine, tabbing things up, making some notes. I already have an idea about how I want my bucket list to play out for this year, but I think there might be some really awesome goodies and ideas in here that I might want to add into the mix.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane.
Oh, these smell so freaking good.
And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover, agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand.
I have my whole little table here set up for some journaling. I actually haven't done much journaling in 2025. It just hasn't resonated with me. Some years I'm super into it, like last year, and then other years it's not something I'm leaning towards in my free time. It is what it is. It takes a certain part of your brain. This year, I'm trying very hard to be really intentional about slowing down and going deeper into whatever activities or hobbies I do for celebrating this season. More like depth rather than like breadth of things, quality over quantity as opposed to like the opposite. And really just like sitting in these activities and specifically sitting in the excitement. I think that's fun. It is for me anyway. And of course it's fun to do these things, but there needs to be a little bit more emotional involvement. And I think journaling, my little printed out bucket list here, will do the trick. Last night, I was really happy I took time to read through this entire Halloween magazine here from Better Homes and Gardens before I got to my bucket list. It helped me get some ideas for my nephew's boo basket, which is on my list for fall, and more drinks and more fun, like little baking things. And I really appreciated how accessible and approachable all of these DIYs were for the most part. And of course, it had tons of Halloween home decor inspiration. I especially loved getting a glimpse into the Vogel Victorians home. In a year's time, I really hope I get to go to Los Angeles, more like, I think it's like in Orange County possibly, and get to experience a Victorian tea party hosted by the Vogel Victorian. It would just really be one of those like big ticket items in my heart and my mind for my spooky little soul. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling really tired. I can like feel it in my eyes. So I'm kind of like fighting through like the exhaustion after using my brain for like hours on end on a Monday. So I'm gonna fight through it because I think this is worth it. Like it's worth carving out time for me. And I think this is something that's gonna be more, not like mindless, but it's going to be something I could enjoy doing more intuitively, not doing a lot of planning or preparation, just going through all of my stationery and journaling goodies, stickers, washi tape, paper, just like random scraps I've saved from packaging I like, and just coming up with something very like organically and intuitively. It looks like Halloween threw up all up on this table, but it was for a worthy cause. I'm in love with my masterpiece, especially the little Stay Puft dudes that are kind of going up the corner of the book here, and they're trying to steal my fall bucket list sign. They are always up to no good. I'm so happy how this came out. I wasn't really like thinking about it. I was just kind of going with, the flow, and it's kind of fun to not plan and strategize for once during my day. The first thing I want to do in fall 2025 is send a Halloween card out to family and friends, and then also give spooky gifts to my relatives, which just, it just brings me joy. I know growing older is never fun, but one good thing is that now I'm the arbiter of Halloween magic, and I really love giving gifts. Also, I want Thomas and I to enjoy a really fun weekend getaway somewhere this fall that's like far enough to feel like we're escaping, but not too far where it will require us to take extended time off of work. So I do have one place in mind that is gonna be so lovely. It's like a place people love to visit during the fall in Northern California. So I'm thinking it'd be nice to kind of go after Halloween has come and gone to kind of keep the fall vibes going, give us something to look forward to after, the sadness, the Halloween blues set in. So that'll be really nice to go when there's less crowds, but still amazing fall vibes. I would love to visit some Halloween pop-up bars. We have some local ones that like are tried and true. And I really hope there's some new ones that come out that are just as fun, because there have been a few in the past that are like legit pop-up, like they aren't a part of a bar's like overlay for the season, and they've been kind of disappointing. So I'm hoping there's some really good ones this year. Also this fall, I'd like to go to this play that's like a comedic retelling of Dracula, but like you change the genders. And I'm pretty sure there's like sapphic romances, just like really fun, playing around with this story that like I know so well, and then to get like a totally new take on it is going to be really fun. And bringing my mom along with me to see this is going to be perfect, since she's the reason why I love Dracula, just making me watch Universal Monster movies every Sunday afternoon. And I also want to decorate a corner of my home that is heavily inspired by the Phantom Manor. I think it'd be perfect because I just had my wedding. I don't want to put all of my wedding memorabilia away or whatever you call it, just like really cute things I have. And I have some stuff in storage that isn't out that would perfectly fit this like Phantom Manor story. At the same time, I'm still like commemorating my wedding, which I think is really lovely. And I just don't want the stuff put away just yet. So I think it's a good way to kind of overlay Halloween on top of the wedding stuff I already keep out all year long. I also would like to make one fall coffee drink at home, whether it's pumpkin spice, cinnamon syrup, something with apple. There's a lot I can do, and I've just been really into making coffee drinks now that we have an espresso machine, we have, stuff to froth and create all these like fun things. I'm really feeling jazzed up about that. Another thing on my list for this fall is to replay Cabernet, which is this cozy vampire RPG game that came out earlier this year. Of course, I immediately played it. I actually have like a video reviewing like my first impressions on it. And TLDR, I really loved it. It's incredibly glitchy, so I'm hoping replaying it, it'll feel a little bit smoother because maybe they worked out the kinks. But this time is going to be different. I want to play from the evil vampire perspective and see how the story unfolds with that, navigating the choices and then the ending as well. I have been side-eyeing my bathroom for many a month now, and wedding planning took up a lot of like my time in general, but also just like my design thinking. So now that that's done, I know my bathroom needs a mini makeover, just a few things, small changes here and there that I think will have a huge impact. And yeah, I really need that in the mornings when I get up early for work. I need that like quick little dopamine hit, just, softness in that space where I just feel like there's glaring lights, it's harsh, it's cold, I need a little bit more warmth. And then last, but definitely not least, I'm so excited to read atmospheric books set during the Halloween season. And my final thing, watch spooky movies and shows. And of course, I have a list longer than there are days in fall. And actually the next thing on my fall preparation to-do list is to plan my spooky season TBR list. What a long week. They really have me working until like 8 p.m. I'm still on my school's campus between back to school night and supervising a football game. I've been spending my nights at work and it's really cramping my style, but it's done now. And I've only been able to update once this week. I started the vlog on a weekend, and then Monday after work, I made my fall bucket list. So now it's actually Friday, and we are getting to my spooky season TBR. I have been searching high and low for the most autumnal, fall-infused Halloween set books that I could find. I found a few that are backlisted, which I'll talk about right now. And in a future video, I'll be sharing all of the new releases that are coming out in September and October that we all just have to add to our spooky season TBRs. So that video is to come because there's over 20 books in that list. So I'm like, okay, this video, there's no room for that right now. I think it deserves its own video. I'm such a big mood reader, so I love having a massive pile of possibilities to cull through and figure out what to read next based off of whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But there are a few backlist books that I've been eyeing for quite some time, and some of them have just more recently got onto my radar. So let's start off with the spooky fantasy category here. One book that is a new release but has already come out this past summer, that is The Hour of the Pumpkin Queen, which is a sequel. The original book in this series is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, which I genuinely liked when I first read it. I think I gave it like 3 stars, and it began to like grow on me a little bit more as time went on, and I'm very eager for this new release. I don't want to reveal too much about this one since it's a sequel, and I don't know if you've read the original one, but Sally is still struggling with the same kind of issues, which I really love how realistic that is, because when you have the problems that she does, they don't just like go away in one experience, one moment in your life. So I love the realism here, even though it's pure fantasy. And she's also going to be visiting other towns. I think it's called Time Town. Honestly, sign me up. Anything that has to do with The Nightmare Before Christmas, I will give it a shot. And I actually have like vlogs where I've read and watched things and done any kind of activity, gone to places and experienced things that are Nightmare Before Christmas themed. It's just one of my favorite fandoms. Another book on my spooky season TBR that has already come out is The Late Night Witches. This is one of those books that based off of the cover alone, it got me. I mean, it's a cute little jack-o'-lantern for sure. The main character in this one is Cassie, who learns quite late in life that she is a witch. And I guess there's some vampires that come to her small town. They're like invading and she has to put a stop to that with her like newly found powers. So good luck to her. We'll see how it all ends up for her in her town. Another spooky fantasy book, this time with rom-com vibes, is Fan Service, starring a werewolf, which honestly we do not get enough of in rom-coms specifically, but like I think any horror book or fantasy, like give us more werewolves, please. Thank you. I think this one is going to be enemies to lovers because there's this actor who's in this like werewolf detective show, something. I don't know. He plays a werewolf on TV and I guess he starts to like become one. And there's somebody online who's like really knowledgeable about occult stuff like werewolves who hates the show. And I'm assuming it's going to be because it's like actually not legitimate or like accurate or whatever, like when we're talking about werewolves. And I guess they like have to team up and he's now relying on her to help solve his problem. And mischief and romance ensues. There's a few cozy mysteries that are paranormal, specifically with witches, that I've enjoyed in the recent past. But right now, like it's very odd that like I'm hankering, like I'm really chomping at the bit to read some of these spooky horror adjacent cozy mysteries for some reason. I don't know. I think I can attribute it to the fact that like cozy mysteries are very low stakes and you know the bad person will get their comeuppance in the end. And I think I want that gratifying experience. I want that satisfaction. If not in reality, then like somewhere fictional. So I have a few that I've had my eye on for several years and some I just came across recently. So for example, this past week, I saw Chaos at the Lazy Bones bookshop on the shelves of Barnes & Noble. And I'm like, ooh, yes, this sounds like it's right up my alley. And I actually might have tried reading it several years ago, maybe on Kindle Unlimited. I could totally be wrong, but its setting is a year-round Halloween bookshop. Yes, that sounds amazing. So we have our main character here, Bailey, who's juggling running that bookshop, finishing their graphic novel, and organizing this like literary festival in the town. But everything starts to unravel when the event kicks off with somebody getting murdered. Dun, dun, dun. Even worse here, Bailey actually becomes the prime suspect. So they're very invested in finding the actual culprit so they don't get pinned for it. I like that. That sounds like there's going to be a nice fall Halloween ambiance and a bit of stakes in there because nobody likes to get accused of murder. Definitely not the vibe. And then we have French Quarter Fright Fest. This one is set in New Orleans, which I visited for the first and only time several years ago, recently. And I totally fell in love with it. It's a gorgeous, amazing city with just some of like the most just the best culture ever, honestly. Like, I'll leave it at that because I could yap about it forever. So this one also has a Halloween setting. So apparently there's this museum that every Halloween they put on a haunted house and somebody is found murdered inside of the haunted house. Suspicion falls on the museum staff, and so they become their own like undercover sleuths trying to get down to the bottom of what really happened because apparently the police are like so focused on the holiday festivities. I don't know. I think priorities here. You know what I mean? Anywho, another one that has a gorgeous cover. And then my last cozy mystery here is Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan. To my knowledge, this one is not set during Halloween or fall, but the vampires are giving fall for sure. In 1999, Southeast Texas, the Evans women run their family funeral parlor without trouble until a local gossip rises from her grave, revealing that the ancient Strigoi vampires have returned. Not the local town gossip. As more townspeople die and a curious deputy draws nearer, the women must fight to uncover who is behind the terror. But while battling the undead, the family is also forced to confront long-buried secrets that threaten to unravel their own legacy. Intriguing. And there's also a sequel to this one. Surprisingly, I don't have too many horror books that I'm dying, pun intended, to get to this fall, which is really strange. But I'm definitely just open to the journey of evolving in my reading taste. It's not a bad thing to change. I mean, like, I've kind of gone with the ebbs and flows of what I feel about creating content. Like I used to originally just create stuff basically only about books and like Halloween decor shopping, and I've definitely evolved over time, and it's just a fun adventure to see how we change. And if we did the same thing always, it would just be incredibly boring life, you know? So yeah, it is weird that I'm not like dying for horror, like genuine horror. I don't know if there's really anything out there that's like really connecting with me. Really, I think I'm connecting and reaching out for books and movies that give the aesthetic of horror without going into those like deep, heavy emotions, because life is already heavy enough. I think yeah, I don't know. I just, especially as my specific kind of job, I deal with a lot of like heavy things, that the last thing I really want to do is like keep those wounds open. What's on your TBR this fall? Let me know. What is like your vibe? I'll be looking for those suggestions as well, especially if you think there's something out there I might really want to be reading right now. What a difference a weekend makes. I feel like a whole new woman. Thank goodness for 3-day weekends. Shout out to Labor Day weekend, because this laborer really needed to rest her brain. This 3-day weekend finally gave me the time, the energy, and the inspiration to round out this video and complete the final few fall preparation tasks that I had in mind that I really wanted to get to this weekend. I'm feeling very organized now that I have all of my hobbies and my fall Halloween activities all in one place. That feels really nice to not have to like think during the week. Like that's the last thing I really need to do. I'm all about these days removing any friction that comes up for me that keeps me from doing the things I love, because I'm already like inundated with so many tasks I don't want to do, but I need to, you know, obligations, responsibilities. So making it as easy as possible for me to reach and grab things that will bring me joy, but just kind of take a little bit of energy to instigate, or I guess initiate, I think it'll really, really help me actually increase my quality of life. Over the course of this weekend, now that it's Monday, I was able to do some fun shopping. I curated a few treats and treasures that are in one way or another related to the things on my fall bucket list. Just some, you know, cozy essentials for all of the cozy ghouls out there. So let's start off with the grocery store stuff, since those are like kind of temperature dependent and I need to get them back in the fridge ASAP. This morning I had an incredible pumpkin spice infused drip coffee drink. It was so good, and what made it so amazing were all of the pumpkin spice items that I picked up from my local grocery stores. So yes, the first thing here that I added was going to be this Chobani coffee creamer in the flavor of pumpkin spice, which I will admit, I don't think this is the most potent one. I think you do need to add a bit of creamer into your coffee to really get the flavor going, and then add other things like sauce and syrups and all that to like really accentuate the flavor. On top of my coffee, I had the cold foam creamer, which is so lovely. This is also in the flavor of pumpkin pie spice. So those were like two big hits for me so far, and an item that I'm trying out for the first time and I haven't had yet is going to be this cold brew coffee in the flavor of pumpkin as well. This is from Stoke, I believe, and I've heard really good things about this one, specifically from Catherine from Clefco Ever After here on YouTube. I'm pretty sure this is the one that they rave about and we're excited to see on the shelves. Let me know, Catherine, if I'm like totally off base and I totally got the wrong one, but I want to see what the hype's all about. I also picked up some pumpkin puree because I have been researching for my fall bucket list some coffee drinks I want to try, and some of those recipes do recommend using a pumpkin puree, and I think it's for either like the bottom of the drink itself, or like you could make a cold foam with this. So that sounds really fun, and I wanted it on hand because I feel like I could have some real fun with this. Another drink item I have yet to try, but I've heard amazing things from, is gonna be the Alani Witch's Brew in these mini containers. I didn't realize it when I purchased this, but they were small. They're like, what, 12? No, yeah, 8 fluid ounces, and they're perfect. Obviously there's caffeine, but there's other things that are like very calming, like L-theanine. I literally have no clue how to pronounce that because I've never heard anybody speak it. I've just read it. But this is like an caramel apple flavor. So I'm gonna try them out tomorrow morning and see how they work for me. Like if this is gonna be enough caffeine for me to get through a work day. I will find out tomorrow. Let's move on to all the little goodies I got at Cost Plus World Market. Another thing I added to my coffee this morning that really just like took it over, like just pushed over the top of like fall amazingness, was this Torani pumpkin pie sauce, which I've never tried before. Like this is the year where I'm really upping my coffee drink game and just like my beverage game in general. Having this in my kitchen is gonna be really fun go-to to just complement all of the fall flavors that I already have in my cup. Speaking of which, I've heard so many good things about Monin, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but their autumn harvest collection has so many delicious syrups. And the one I'm the most hyped to try out is going to be cinnamon bun. And so when I saw that Cost Plus World Market had this whole like mini collection, I thought it was perfect because of course I want to have a pumpkin pie syrup, caramel apple butter, cranberry, brown butter toffee. Of course I want those. But what makes it even better is that I don't have large bottles because I don't think that's necessary. Like I just want a small amount and I want a variety, and this is perfect for me. This will get me through fall, and a lot of these will be really great for the winter season as well. Specifically like cranberry, and I could also see like pumpkin pie will be great in November. Yeah, so these will keep me going until the end of the year. And lastly, from Cost Plus World Market, I was really excited to see that once again they have Bones Coffee. This is the flavor of apple cider donut, which I don't think I've tried before. I was tempted to get the Pumpkin Queen. Okay, that was like what I wish it would be called. The Pumpkin King flavor of coffee that they have, which has Jack Skellington on the front of it. But I've already had that one. So I'm like, okay, let me try something different. So I'll try it out. I just know in the past, some of these coffee flavors from this company aren't always the most prominent. So I really hope I could taste or at least smell something appley, cinnamony. That'd be nice since that's kind of what they're marketing it as. My mom is amazing. She is the ghoul who raised this ghoul, and she gifted me just randomly. She just like threw this cute little like gift bag at me and was like, here you go. And she was like dropping off mail a few days ago to my home on her way back home from work. So she's just awesome. And so she gifted me some things that were just perfect. Like, how did she know that I'm in my coffee era when she gifted us these double espresso ghost mugs? It's just so strange. How did she know that we needed double espresso mugs? We were literally talking a few days ago, me and Thomas, about how we needed some double espresso mugs. And then she gives us these. So adorable. It's just so perfect. And there's room in there to add some cold foam, some whipped cream, whatever, and just like jazz up a double espresso because different days require different levels of caffeination. So it's nice to have options, and especially such cute ones like these. And the other thing she gifted us were these mugs, which are perfect because I have been in such a fall decorating mood, like kind of moving away from a space that's decorated in a very like campy, over the top, like haunted house way. I've really been gravitating more towards like, I don't know how to describe it, just like more fall, more natural, kind of harkening back to like more of like an Anthropology Crate and Barrel vibe, but I guess with a little bit more character, a little bit more personality infused with the campiness that I know and love. And so these are perfect because they're super simple, they're very fall, and I can see myself still using these even in November. Spooky moms, they know what to do. They're awesome like that. And then I got some Cozy Ghoul essentials that will really see me through the rest of fall. And I talk as if like fall has already started, but in my heart it has, and it needs to. So the first thing I got were these so soft socks that are very like, I don't know, I like how muted they are. So on the front, we have kind of like a very light brown, very like beige little sock in the front that has a little jack-o'-lantern, so like a pop of orange, which I thought was really fun and unexpected. And then the last one in the back is kind of like the seafoam green, bluish color with like the little orange jack-o'-lantern. So it's really fun and unexpected. More cozy essentials for myself are going to be, again, we know it, we love it, jack-o'-lanterns, all up in these very cozy pants. Super, super soft. Like, I'm sure you probably have seen these style of pants before, and then it has like a little ribbon here, a little bow, because it's like a cinch waist, so you kind of can customize it to whatever size you want it to. I really needed to up my home body attire, so some cozy socks for reading or gaming, and just some cozy sweats when these nights start to get cold eventually, hopefully. I think will be really useful additions to my closet. Also, how could I not have said this already? Happy September 1st. Today is the start of what is in my head fall. So we're gonna start decorating very soon. Content on here is gonna start to be very explicitly traditional Halloween. So yeah, our time has come, Cozy Ghouls. We are here to be your spookiest selves and not feel weird about it, because now the rest of the world, well, at least the United States, is on board, is also in a spooky frame of mind, but we always live here. It's our safe space. Thanks for hanging out with me, Cozy Ghouls. I have had a really, really fun time using this video as an excuse to center my needs and to take care of myself while getting to connect with you all. And so, yeah, let's just not lose sight of what's really important. Doing the things we need to do in our life to, care and connect with other folks, and then carving out time to care and refill ourselves. That's the whole point of this channel, is to make sure we are keeping that balance in check. Because I know many of you are doing the good work, right? You're caring for your family, you're caring for others in your community, and you're really, holding the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'm right there with you. So I really hope you find in these next coming weeks a safe space in your excitement and celebration of fall. That is truly what being cozy means to me. It's not, hiding away from reality. It's giving ourselves the space to build up our capacity to do the things we need to do to make this world a loving and caring place. So yeah, let's just not forget that that is the whole point. So yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.
Autumn comes too soon.